Hello, party people. Let's do a quick SWTX update because it's going to be a crazy 24 hours. So, what's going on here? Tonight at 10 p.m. Pacific time, 1 a.m. Eastern time, Merck KGaA reports earnings. Then, 3 hours later, they have a media conference call. It's actually a press conference, I think live in Germany. Then, 3 hours after that, at 5 a.m. Pacific, 8 a.m. Eastern, they do an investor call. What is going on with SWTX? One thing I want to make clear, it is law that a German company, if they disclose that they are in talks with another company and those talks cease, they need to disclose that those talks have ceased, okay? We are in nighttime now in Germany, or late evening. There has been no disclosure that they have stopped talking to SWTX. Further, as of last Friday, SWTX canceled the Cowen conference that was supposed to present today. We know that for a fact then, as of last Friday, they were still in some form of deal talks with Merck and or other people. What is going on? Well, there's a few options that can happen in the next 24 hours. The first one could be that we get a deal tonight when they report earnings. I put those odds at low, maybe 10, 15%. The reason why I put them at low is it seems rather odd to issue a deal for a New York-based or East Coast-based company at midnight Eastern time, 11 p.m. Eastern time, when you have employees you need to send out an email to explain what's going on. Could it happen? Of course it could happen. What else could happen tomorrow? Merck puts out earnings, and Merck says many different options on their conference calls. One, they're no longer in talks. Again, there's nothing special about earnings why they would wait for that to disclose that talks have ceased. They have to, by law, promptly notify the market if talks have ceased. Two, again, we know they were in active talks as recently as Friday. And three, there's no reason to believe that talks have ceased. So why is it taking so long? The original Reuters article said that deal may be signed in the coming weeks. Also, there was a PDUFA that was supposed to come February 28th. It came 2 weeks early. Likely, that is the critical milestones that would need to be hit. Some think there might be a bid-ask issue here. That's why we haven't signed a deal. If there was a bid-ask issue, this company would have done a Q4 conference call. They didn't have to take questions on it. They could have also said we won't comment on the deal, but they certainly wouldn't halt their business like this if there was a bid-ask issue. Further, a big bid-ask issue would have already been resolved with no deal. Also, advanced talks almost always means there is not a bid-ask issue, or it's a very close bid-ask, not a wide gap. Which leads me to what I've always said is the biggest risk here. The biggest risk is that this price sucks, that they were trading in the mid-30s through most of the Q4 and in January, and a European German biotech doesn't usually pay huge premiums for companies, and they're talking a $55 to $60 deal versus today a $50 stock price. Still not that bad, quite frankly, at $50, but now your break might be as low as 35 given how bad the market has been. Speaking of, if you look at the XBI since January 1st, or really mid-January, when they probably were in decent talks with SWTX, it hasn't moved all that much. XBI was a low of 86 in January. It hit 84 yesterday. It's 86.50 today, and the highs were in the 92 to 93. I feel like I'm a weatherman. So we're not talking about crazy volatility, even though it looks like it and feels like it. I don't think that's enough to make something like a Merck walk over volatility in the overall biotech market. What could be happening here as well is they leaked that for a reason to Reuters. It likely was leaked to see if there were other people that were interested in the company because they probably didn't do a full process and were just talking to Merck. And it would not be shocking to me that they have found other bidders. The only way they wouldn't sign a deal with Merck by tomorrow, which is plenty of time from when this drug was approved, would be that another bidder has offered a very serious price versus what Merck is offering. And they're trying to wrap up due diligence, and the bidding war is going back and forth between Merck and this other company. The reason why I say this is at any time they could sign with Merck, because that's the bird in the hand is better than two in the bush, and the other company could pay a breakup fee in the next 4 to 12 weeks to come over the top. And the breakup fee wouldn't be that high, okay? So I think the most likely outcome tomorrow is no deal, but no break. And in any scenario with no break, the stock is much higher than $50 tomorrow. Is it 53, 55, 58? I don't know. But break is the only thing that gets it below 50, okay? And that's why I like the setup into tomorrow. I have a huge position here. It's very risky. There's lots of moving cards here, things that none of us know what's going on, of course. So invest at your own risk, and it's going to be a long 24 hours. Good luck, everybody.